helping build successful DevOps teams. And today we're joined by Sandra from ABN AMRO Bank, who is CI and CD enabler and is an independent consultant with over 17 years of experience in the software industry, and is currently focused on helping developing teams and leadership teams to develop better software faster. So, Sandra, thank you for being here, and over to you.
Well, Katrina, thank you for having me. Thank you, Daza, for having me in this award show. Also, want to thank all the speakers and the speakers who will still be coming this award show with all the valuable insights, and of course all the people who made this awards show so special and possible, and then of course the people who sent in all the categories and who competed in this wonderful journey to this to becoming more DevOps as a company. And today I want to talk to you about a bit about the core of Agile and DevOps. Can you show the next slide, please? So, and the core of DevOps is about people. It's about people doing the work. It's not about machines doing the work. And also what you see in a lot of companies, it's very hard to attract talent, and maybe even harder to retain talent. To attract and retain talent, we need something, right? And Daza also acknowledges this in the professional enable and scale part of the skills map. And I will look a bit about it as role-based learning. You need courage, team building, leadership, and continuous improvement. But that's on all levels, right? It's not only for management level, and it's not only for an engineer level or an ops people level. Courage and team building should be everybody's responsibility. Also leadership, right? You can be an informal leader in your own team or in your own company without having the official mandated statue of a leader or a manager within your company. Most often, what I've seen in the past are those I call it informal leaders who make the biggest footprints within the company, and everybody looks up to them. So I also encourage you to not only look at your management, but also take the wheel, the steering wheel in your own hands, because I think you have more ability to do that than you might think on yourself. And next slide, please. So, but if you go back to this is a black slide. But if you go back to what the core is about working in agile teams, and what I think was for me the teams I worked with in most with the best results, but also with the most fun. That were basically three constructs. It's empathy, it's logic, and authenticity. And believe it or not, these are the three constructs that made up trust, right? As an engineer or as a company, you need to trust your engineers that they're doing the right stuff. But also, as an engineer, you need to trust the management of the company that they are enabling you to be your best. And that's empathy, logic, and authenticity. And in the later slides, I will give you some examples on actually how you can improve this. But let's look at these constructs. It's empathy. It's about asking people just how they are doing. No, it doesn't cost you anything to ask people how they are doing. Logic is about you have some arguments. Does it mean that everything you do must be super transparent to everybody in the company? But at least when you say something, it should be followed with some arguments. If there's a wobble in your logic, well, I cannot help you there, right? You have to think about it for yourselves. And the last thing, and maybe the hardest thing to get right, is authenticity. Maybe be yourself, but also let other people be themselves. A small example of how not to do it is I still work with a lot of companies who have dress codes. Why? Because people need to look representable. Well, if you are in a line of business which you need to be representable, if you trust people, they probably will be representable. But forcing up a dress code also forces people maybe to behave a little bit differently than they are. Is that helping you with trust? I don't know. I work once in a company that every month we have a meeting and we go back to the company because we're all consultants, at various clients, and we need to dress up just for that meeting, and everybody was joking around for it. But if you think about it later on, it wasn't really then, and it wasn't the director trusting you that actually you kind of you not come into the office barefoot or something, Next slide, please. So empathy. There are basically two things you can do. Just when in a meeting, just try to create that social connection with people. Try to really connect with people. One thing you can do is when you're in a meeting, just and like a team meeting, like some sprint planning or whatever. Just as a manager, just drop in the meeting and ask people, how can I help you be more effective today? Also, what I see a lot of meetings, people are distracted. People are on the chatting other stuff. You have those one-on-ones in meetings. You have people sitting looking on their phone. When I'm talking to my wife on the couch, and she's telling me something important, I'm looking at the phone. I think she does not find me very empathic. Also, my children might feel that, and you don't do it at home. But probably an office, it's kind of accepted at some places that you do it. Well, not if you want to create like an empathic atmosphere. Try not to have any distractions. It doesn't cost you anything to put away your phone for 30 minutes. Next slide, please. So logic. Well, any logic you tell, there should be some quality of there, right? Even my children, and I have 3 children, like a beautiful daughters. What the youngest one is 5, the middle is 6, and the eldest one just turned 9. And sometimes, they're asking why, and they just say, and some reflex is saying for me, yeah, because Daddy says so, and you just have to listen to me because I'm older. And of course that doesn't work. They only get more, they only get more obstinate and to me anyway. So there should always be some quality in the logic, and also logic. If you're not a big teller or storyteller, just keep it crisp and just repeat your arguments. That'll help you. Get your point across. And if you are interrupted, and then at least you have put your arguments out there, right? So no worries there. And next one, please. So authenticity, and this is the hardest part, right? It's about being yourself. It's about being vulnerable, right? It's about acknowledging your good stuff, but also the bad stuff that's inside you. It's about people showing your emotions, and also I work with a lot of corporate companies nowadays. And I see all those diversity and inclusion is a big topic, of course, now. But what I also see is that the board installs a diversity department or inclusion manager or whatever. But of course, if this is so important and so to the core of what you at a company or a team want to be, it is not some department you can just manage. It's something you have to show daily, day in, day out. It's about being an example as a management, right? People should look up to you, and I think diversity of inclusion. I think it's what you said before. I think we need more women in tech, definitely, because when I look at the companies I work for, and then look outside the window on the street, there's a big mismatch between the faces I see in my office and the faces I see in the street. So at least we should make an effort on onboarding more different people to our companies, because if we only manage and hire people who are like us, it gets even harder to attract the right talent. So one final advice to all companies who have like departments called HR or HRM. People are not resources you can manage. People are people, and people should be felt loved and needed within a company. And please don't please don't relate to them as resources. Resources are something you have in AWS or in Azure or Google Cloud, but not in your company. And that's it for me. I would say back to you, Katrina.